All right, so I thought we could take a look today at the depth chart for the Cincinnati Bengals after, free agency has gone a little bit underway. So starting off right away, the quarterback position, I mean, it's pretty much the same as before, Joe Burrow and Jake Browning. Running back position, according to ourlads.com, which I think will change very quickly, because I think Chase Brown will become RB1. But right now, it's Zach Moss is RB1, Chase Brown, Travion Williams, and Chris Evans. Our wide receiver position, we got Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, obviously on a franchise tag. We also have, by the way, little side note here. If you see any kind of bluish colors or aqua colors, it means that we got them for free agency or trade, and then purple is franchise tag / transitional tag. So for our receiving core, we got obviously Chase T and Chuck Sizzle, which, yeah, this is, I'll be interested to see if this actually happens. If we actually use Chuck Sizzle in the slot this year, we should be, but last year we kind of refused to do that. Now, we did have Tyler Boyd last year in the Bengals defense, right? But I'll be interested to see if they actually commit to that or not. But, of course, backing up Chase, we have our other outside receiver, which is Yoshi. We have Trent Irwin, who I don't really... he's more of a slot receiver, so I feel like he would be more in that slot role. Kwame, who did go ahead and sign to the 90-man roster. Of course, he might not make the 53-man roster, but he signed to the 90-man roster. And yes, we also do have Kendrick Pryor, and then we have Cedric Jackson. So, receiving core-wise, here's what I'll say, right? It's good. And I think receiving core-wise, we could add someone like Hunter Renfrow, and I think that would be a little bit of a W signing in my opinion. But other than Hunter Renfrow, there's really no one in free agency I think we would add to the receiving core. It's very possible, though, we draft someone to see, hey, listen, maybe they could end up working out for us at the receiver position. Running back position, we're definitely going to go ahead and draft somebody. My guess is one running back, but probably kind of like the Chase Brown signing or drafting, probably in like the 4th, 5th, or 6th round. We do have a couple. We have 10 total picks, so it's very possible we take a running back later on. Tight end wise, Mike, we got Drew Sample and Tanner Hudson. We're definitely going to draft another tight end, so I expect another tight end right here. And then once we draft that tight end, he'll start right here and then hopefully move up the draft board to become our future star tight end. For offensive line, we got Orlando Brown, Jackson Carman, Cordell Volson, Cody Ford, Teddy K, Trey Hill, Nate Gilliam. Obviously, this is 90-man roster material. Alex Kappa, Jackson Kirkland, Dante Smith, and we have Devin Cochran. Yeah, this is really ugly. This is really ugly. We're going to draft the right tackle in the first 2 rounds, most likely. I say most likely, but, and I thought we were going to take a tight end last year. We didn't. But we take a right tackle in the draft. We please sign Trent Brown, Cincinnati, please. Mainly because we're also not signing Mekhi Becton or Tahir Tart, apparently. That was the most recent rumor that they just weren't interested in those guys. Take a guard in the draft. Obviously, you got right tackle in the draft. I wouldn't be against the idea of taking 2 tackles in the draft, in all honesty. It's a very deep class when it comes to tackle. Take a guard in the draft as well, and we should be okay. But this is a problem. Cordell Volson. This is a huge problem. He stays healthy, he'll be fine. He stays healthy, he'll be fine. I mean, he's not had any issues with health, actually. But he's fine. He's fine. Overall wise, just take a guard and take 2 tackles in the draft. That's 3 of your 10 picks. Figure out the rest of them. Rest of them will probably be, honestly, I'd say take 2 guards, 2 tackles in the draft. That's 4 picks right there. Maybe a wide receiver, 5, a running back, 6, and then the last 4, defense. All right, so in my opinion, best secondary in the NFL right now, Cam Taylor-Britt, DJ Turner, Mike Hilton. We got Von Bell, starter Von Bell, which over Jordan Battle, I could see that happening. I could see that happening. I think Jordan has earned his right to become the starter for this team, but at the same time, rotation, right? So maybe we can kind of move players around. Dax Hill, for example, is a guy we're going to be moving around, and he'll probably go into the slot role and maybe, in a way, become a cornerback. Anyway, though, Tyson Anderson, backup free safety to Dax Hill. We got, again, like you said, Allen George still on the team, and we have Poison Ivy. Let's talk about Poison Ivy, because I really not talked about him much at all, and I know I got a couple comments of people saying, like, hey, man, what about Poison Ivy? We have him, too. Poison Ivy is great. Poison Ivy is a really great special teamer, kind of like Tyson Anderson. And even if both of them are healthy, Tyson Anderson and Poison Ivy, they're going to be utilized more in special teams than they will on defense. So while both of them are great and both of them have opportunities to become, startable assets on our team, that's the beautiful thing about having really great players on our defense, is that we can exclusively use those two guys for special teams. Kind of like Chuck Sizzle last year. Remember how he didn't get any offensive snaps? Well, he was our number one punt returner, and every punt return he was on. So that's the same concept with Tyson Anderson and with Poison Ivy, is that they're really great special teamers. Along with. Also, Travion Williams is also a really great special teamer. So, well, yes, I do believe that Poison Ivy can eventually, grow and become a startable asset on our defense and the cornerback position. And if we ever need him, we can always utilize him. He's also really great on special teams. So, they're going to probably try to develop him more in special teams. As Lou said earlier this offseason, when he was talking about Dax Hill, but he says, why go ahead and try to get one player to be perfect at everything when you can just home in on the one thing they're good at and continue to get better at, So, linebacking core, Keenan Davis-Gaither is back. Myles Murphy needs to take another step forward. We have an interior pass rusher in Sheldon Rankins, which is good. Other than that, we need a replacement for DJ Reader. We have not gotten it yet. We need a 3 technique nose tackle, and we have not gotten that yet. Backup pass rusher Cam Sample, I don't have a problem with that. Joseph Asai needs to take another step forward. BJ Hill is fine. D tackle outside of that is okay. Right end, again, like I said, Myles Murphy step forward. Trey Hendrickson's fine. Overall wise, again, like I said, there's things that we need to address in the draft, but I don't think we have a huge, crazy, major need right now where I'm looking at this team and saying, oh, this is scary. Our problem last year, run stopping the run, we fixed that with Von Bell. We also need to replace DJ Reader. Number 2 was our issue in the secondary, shutting teams down and being able to cover long enough. We got rid of Cheeto. We have a good young secondary. Hopefully that works out. Getting after the quarterback was also a problem. Sheldon Rankins should help that out. So overall, not a bad, set right now. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.